Hey, Jay.
Hi.
I mean, the players all talked about the start. What did you see from the bench maybe and from your group to get off to a start like that? And what do you think turned it for you?
Yeah, it wasn't according to anyone's script for sure. You know what I thought? So we made some mistakes, but the mistakes we made were ones where we were trying to make a play, almost in what we talked about in between periods with our guys. I thought we were overreaching, forcing some things that maybe not have been there. When you do that, you find yourself, if the opponent's in good position, you find yourself forced to defend. And I thought we had to defend a lot in that first period. I thought Jack Campbell was excellent, allowed us to get back into the game. The special teams were excellent, allowed us to get back into the game. And in the end, even though it wasn't the prettiest game in the world, I thought our fellas dug in. We're very aware of some of the things we're going to have to clean up, and we'll do that starting tomorrow.
How much of that is just first game, right? You didn't have your guys play together a ton in the preseason. You know, Connor says sometimes it's just not there. Is that too easy an excuse, or do you find, having coached this many years in the NHL at times, those first few games can be a little bit, maybe not as sharp as you'd expect?
Yeah, I don't think we were sharp. I don't think we were in sync early. We found a way to win the game. That's a good sign. That is a really good sign. But we can be better. And it's incumbent upon all of us to make sure we honestly look at the areas that we can be better, and we will address them tomorrow. We'll work on them in practice, and we're going to look to improve.
You mentioned Campbell was solid. He said, I know he's a very tough critic. He didn't like the first two goals himself, but when it was 3-0, and then I think they were on a power play, he made two huge stops on that penalty kill that seemed to give you a little bit of momentum. You just talk about once it was down 3-0 and how good he was to allow you guys to slowly get back in the game. Yeah,
I thought his play allowed us to recover and work our way back into the game. I think the penalty kill was a big story in the game. We had to do it way too much tonight because of some things that were self-inflicted. But when your goaltender's your best penalty killer, like he was tonight, it sets you up for some success on that special team. And even though we gave up one on the kill, I thought the shorthanded goal by Darnell was a real momentum changer for us, and it was a big part of the game.
Does this kind of maybe illustrate what your guys have been talking about all through the preseason? Is everybody in the market wants to look ahead to how many playoff rounds you're going to win, but before that, there's going to be 82 games, and they're going to be hard.
Yeah, I think that noise might come from the outside. I can tell you what's happening on the inside is we're talking about process. That's where we're steering our conversation and the direction of our meetings. As I said, we weren't perfect today, but in terms of effort and grit and finding a way to win on a muddy track like it was tonight for us, that's a credit to our players and their want and will to win a hockey game tonight.
Seeing that this early, does that sort of become this self-perpetuating thing that carries you on?
Hopefully, I'd like to see that continue. Obviously there are things that have to get cleaned up. No one's fooling ourselves with that being the recipe to, have success in a long schedule. I don't think that, I don't think you want to find yourselves down 3-0, 21 minutes into the game, taking as many penalties as we did. But it was what it was, and our players dug in, and it's a credit to them and them focusing in on trying to find the 2 points tonight, which they did, so I'm happy for them.
Jay, I know you've used the 11 and 7 before, but maybe 17 skaters is a little different. How did you find that?
It is. It felt different. It felt different to me. It was just, it's the way it was. And we found a way to win a game with 11 and 6, playing one man short tonight. I don't think that's the scenario that we looked to start the season with, but it was what it was. I think the hard part about tonight with 11 forwards was, we took so many penalties. So what you end up doing is you overtax certain individuals. And then other guys maybe go cold a little bit because there's been so many penalties. So that was something we had to deal with, but we figured it out and found a way to win.
Dylan Holloway, first regular season game, obviously. He made a turnover early, and you kind of dropped him down the lineup. What did you see from him? What kind of adjustments did you make, or did you find from him?
Yeah, you know what? I think I felt confident. I put that line right back on the ice. That was a young mistake. I think he was trying to make a play. A pretty good player was sitting in the weeds and picked it off and found a way to make our team pay in that situation. I think Dylan's one of those guys that, he didn't play on the penalty kill tonight, so he got taken out of the game a little bit just based on the rhythm of the way the game was being played. We still found shifts for him in all three periods, but he was one of the guys that was affected by so many penalty kills.
You end up with a goal on the penalty kill. Draisaitl's a big part of that. You used him a lot last year, kind of at the tail end of some of those kills.
Yeah.
How tempting is it to just have him in the regular rotation? Because I know he was a little bit tonight.
Yeah, he's one of the smartest players in the world. Like, his hockey sense, he knows where the puck's going. I think, when we came up last year in February, he had played a lot on the kill, and I wanted to introduce a few other people on the kill at that time. Guys like Ryan McLeod and Kyler Yamamoto got a little bit more ice time on the kill. And I thought that allowed him to not have to take on so many hard minutes. What I saw was two things. One, McLeod and Yamo had a good effect on the kill. And then the side benefit was that Leon's shift quality in his other minutes went up because he wasn't being overtaxed. But he's still an excellent penalty killer. If we're in a situation where we're killing a lot, I'll throw him in the regular rotation. Certainly the guy that I would put on the ice in a 5-on-3 situation. Just trying to make sure we're spreading the minutes out as best we can, especially with only 11 forwards tonight.
Jay, can you give me your first impressions in a regular season of Ryan Murray's play tonight?
Yeah, I thought Ryan was good. I thought he's got some poise to him. He looks to make a play. He just doesn't bang it around the wall. I think he's getting a feel for our game, too. We play a little bit differently than Colorado might, or New Jersey might, or Columbus might. And so he's getting a feel. I thought he was pretty good.
And it started late last season in the playoffs. You used Barry more on the penalty kill. And again, tonight, I know you guys were on the kill a lot. But what is it that you and Dave saw in him that you wanted to give him an opportunity on the?
Yeah, Dave and I hold the belief that all of our D-men should be able to penalty kill. All of them. And so, that's something we started in Bakersfield. Obviously you might have certain pair start kills and whatnot, but I think I would go back to Ryan's question about how smart Leon is and how that makes him a good penalty killer. I think the same thing for Tyson Barrie. I think he's a smart player. He anticipates well and knows where pucks are going. So that's all part of our effort to try and make sure we're using all of our D-men on the kill. Good, thanks guys.